Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all good. I hope you are all well. Welcome guys. If you are new here, I am Tisha Oliphant, born and bred in South Africa, proudly South African. And yes, we are currently, oh, rather, let me say, I'm hosting the financial or finance bootcamp sessions. And this is our second session. We had a session last week. And I want to say if you've always been in this home, you are an exec and you're an oldie member of the family, you've been around, you know where to find what's, you no longer ask where to get this, where to get that. I thank you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for staying this long. And there's people who just warms my heart when they say, we started this channel with you. We are on this journey together. And lead the way, mom, lead the way, sisters. It excites me. So thank you for really your support is appreciated. And as you come in, please do like the video. Let's kickstart. I'm not planning to be too long. I'm planning to chow from your time. I know it's Saturday and you need to be in places that no one has been before. So let's kickstart our second session. So it was a bit of a debate with myself as to say which topic should we tackle first. But then I decided we're gonna start with this most boring session that people don't want to hear about, but it's such an important aspect of wealth building. It is so important. You can't be saying, I'm building or creating legacy through creating wealth and working hard and taking care of my money if you are one person that skips this particular session. So, as you're coming, grab a seat, bring something to drink. I brought my plain water to, yeah, hydrate. It's hot in South Africa. Don't know how's the weather wherever you are, but this part of the world is boiling hot. So thank you for liking, guys. And as you are coming in, please do like. I just wanna shift this thing a bit. I don't wanna sound blocked too soon. Okay, let's talk money matters. Guys, money. What is money? Hey, money is something that makes the world go round. And I just want to briefly say, before we can even speak about all the topics, estate planning, budgeting, debt management, investing, and saving, and all that, guys, it is all about a mindset. As you are coming through for these sessions, I just need you to come with a completely different mindset. Because if when you grew up and money matters are unfortunately attached to our beliefs, to what we were taught by our elders or people who came before us, our parents, the people in our villages, people in our suburbs, townships, depending on where you grew up. And those beliefs, most or some, have held us back in terms of making money. And we know, Guti, you can't get far. Hi, Bonsile, hi, sweetheart. You can't get far without Imal. You open your eyes, first thing you think of, whether you think of getting yourself a glass of water as you are opening your eyes, or toothpaste as you are opening your eyes and you need to brush your teeth, you need money for all those things. We can't even get to the big things. Getting to work, you require money. But if your money beliefs and traditions are skewed, chances are you look at money with different eyes. So if you grew up being told money is the root of all evil, money is for people who have juju, if you've got money, you've got a snake, you are merely chasing money away from you. How can you then work hard to make something that you deem as evil? So only people who understands that money is a tool. It is merely a tool, just like a price stand. You go buy a price stand to buy your meat. And with the price stand, if it breaks, you know good you can put your meat in an oven. You can cook your meat with top stove. What happens then with money? Is there any replacement for money? If you know any, please drop it on the comment section. So unlearn those beliefs that you grew up being told. Hey, people with money, there's manga business they are up to. Of course, some have manga business, but don't associate money with evilness. Don't associate money with it only goes to people who have money. Since I don't have at this point in time, or I'm broke, chances are I won't have money. And if you have that mindset, I can tell you now, it will run away from you. Somehow it's as if it can hear you, it can sense you, because money is spiritual. You want to believe it, you don't want to believe it, but money is spiritual. What you say and prophesy with your mouth regarding money will turn out exactly how you said it. If you say, I have it in abundance, I've got money in abundance. Like I often say, money is not my problem. My problem is how to spend it. Obviously, I'm attracting it. Law of attraction, power of positive talking and thinking. So come here and really shed and go bury those evil connotations that you associate with money, where you say money is for people that uses booty. It won't come to you. You don't use booty, and you've already sent it to certain people, and you feel less deserving of money. So that's a starting point. And when it comes to my money, you have to have, guys, a positive mindset. How you looked at your money, how you viewed your money over the years, if it's working against you, at this very moment, take a decision. I'm gonna look at my money with different views. I'm gonna treat my money differently with the respect. But money is a tool, and there's money in abundance. There's money in circulation. It's like a pie. We all have a piece of a pie, but depending on how you approach it. So you've got your fair share. You've got your millions running, circulating out there in the world. It is left up to you to go and claim them. It's as simple as that. And always say to yourself, I have money in abundance. I'm able to even assist those who don't have enough, because I always have surpluses. Speak positively, attract it. And I think we need to move on. But I want to tell you, if you still say, hi, it's for others, hi, we came to this earth to accompany others with money, you've already cast yourself, and it's power of tongue. Money is spiritual. You ought to talk positively about money. You ought to display money. I'm not saying have cash under your mattresses, but have some cash there and there. Have your 20 rands there. Have your 10 rands there. Have coins in your wallet. Don't walk around for months on end with a wallet that has nothing in it. How are you attracting that money? To attract something, you ought to leave it. You ought to have it. You possibly cannot be a lawyer if you don't even have look at lawyers who are already practicing, or you have a symbol of a lawyer. That's how you attract things in life. You've never stepped your foot in any house, but you say you own a house. Go view houses. That's how you attract things in life. Stay with money near you, not tons of cash. Cash is dangerous. If you lose it, you can't get it back. Just have few coins, few notes in a note, even one note, 50 rand note, 20 rand note in your wallet. Have a note. And I've made a video on how to attract money a while back. Still go to old videos, especially if you are new on this channel. I urge you to go watch my old videos. And thanks to everyone who's already watched them. Hi sis, I almost missed your live. I had My alarm on. Oh, thank you, Siri. Welcome, Dombi. No, no, Butle. Hi, Siri. So let's just clarify that, and I hope you're all on board. If you've lived your life cursing money, hence you don't have it. Those who have it respects it. They know it's just a tool. It's not God. It is a tool. A tool that you use to purchase stuff, the tool that you use to buy your tickets, to pay for your cars, to buy for houses, to go and entertain yourself, pay for a movie, go watch cricket. It is merely a tool. But you ought to speak positively about money to attract more money in life. There's no two way about it. And that applies to everything. If you want to attract something, you ought to speak positively about it. If you want to complete your degree, you can't be sitting around and say, "I you fail, I'm gonna fail it. I'm writing off 2024, I'll try again 2020." You failed already. And that's how life works. But if you say it might not be the easiest module, but I promise myself I'll give it my all. I'll put extra effort, extra hours. I'll sacrifice going out. Chances are, come end of 2024, you'll do well, or you'll pass that module. So let's go to and guys, I want to tell you something. There was no school about money. So forgive yourself if you're an adult and you misused your money. If you're an adult and you overspend, if you're an adult and you're swimming in debt, there's no one who can tell you what they went to school, hence they got it right. Blessed are those who are financial literate, in terms of they grew up with parents or siblings or a community that taught them about money, or they were exposed on money matters while they were young, and they took the bait and used it. There's people who are exposed. We are sitting here this afternoon. You could be somewhere else, but you decided to spend this time to listen to me about money matters. There's people who are exposed, but they still do nothing. So I'm urging you, use the information. So if right now financially you're not where you are at, you are you are in your mid 30s or even 40s, without a car, without a house, without a pension that is lucrative, or you only contributed when you first had a job in your 20s, and that money is not even, it won't even take you anyway when you get to retirement. You've got kids, but you're just not where you would have loved to be. Forgive yourself, but then start doing something about your money. So there's no expect. We are all figuring out these things of money matters. Obviously, there's books to learn, there's experts that are out there. And guys, disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor or certified. I'll put it in my description. I'm not a certified financial advisor. If you need more information, please contact one near your area. So I just want to say, come as you are, whether in debt, whether as a multi-millionaire, a billionaire, and it could be one or two things that you're going to learn along the way. And don't beat yourself up if you made wrong money decisions, because at one stage I was young, I also had clothing accounts, and I was always showing off and nice figure, young figure, and boy oh boy, I had the hottest figure ever. There, God took his time. But there came a time where, when I looked at my credit card balance, and I realized, I think at that time it was sitting at around 9,000 rands. And I was trying to think, what did I buy with 9,000? 9,000 was a lot of money when I was in my early 20s. And for the life of me, I just couldn't put a finger on what exactly I bought. And that's where I said, this bus stops right here. We're no longer going to Swaziland. So the bus is Swaziland Tuni. I stopped the bus, took my credit card, called my bank, made an arrangement, and they agreed that I could pay that specific amount over a certain period, and I cut it up. Others freeze it. There's many ways to deal with that, but I never wanted to see credit card. And I haven't had a credit card for like over 2 decades. over two decades. I think I had a credit card for my first few years when I started working. Like I'm saying, we all made financial mistakes, but I was blessed enough to quickly, get rid of them and learn better ways of looking after what I have worked hard for, what I wake up early hours for. Because boy, oh boy, we wake up early, we sweat, sweat and blood, and sometimes you are in a toxic environment. Sometimes your business is not doing so great. So why then, when you get that income, you don't want to treat it or look after it so that tomorrow it looks after you? So I'm trying to say I'm a living example. I've made many mistakes, but after cutting that credit card, I never went back. So once you make a decision about your store cards, cut them up and not go back. But that's not the topic that we are talking about today. I just want to emphasize, Uguti, come as you are with whatever mess ups, hiccups that you did in terms of money. Hi, I just came here in the right time. I want to start my business of baking next week and know God will bless my struggle. He will. He always does. No, Buhle, all the best, sis, all the best. And don't give up. It's not one of the easiest things to start a business. Hang in there and give it your all. Sleepless nights and all, you won't regret it a few years from now. Again, so hi, sweetheart. Mpofu, hi, Mpofu, welcome, sweetheart. So do not beat yourself up, only change. So today, I want to say we receive money in different forms. So there's this thing that is called income. After you've traded your time, you get an income. So if you are working, you're employed, you go to work, you give your employer your time. So you are there from a certain time to a certain time, and then they repay you by paying you an income. And your income is very, very important, guys. And it goes to the subject of today, which is budgeting. And I know a lot of people will just close this live. Oh, budgeting. No, I hate that subject. But guys, how do you even get to where you are heading to when you don't know where you are at? And budgeting is all about that. Uguti, where are you right now? And where do you want to be? So we can't talk about money and exclude the budgeting, or not start with budgeting. And some of us, there's people who get income through rental properties, which is called rental income. There's people who get royalties, and there's people who get dividend income, when you buy shares and you buy shares that pays dividends. And there's people who hold shares in big amounts, and then on a quarterly basis or monthly basis, they've set up their portfolio that they receive income. So we get income in different forms. Whether you've got a business, you earn a salary, or it's called an income. Whether you work for someone, you get royalties from your art that you're an art person. So again, royalties can come through music, come through books, or you get it through what did I touch on? Even advertising pays you. You are a freelancer, so we could have different. You hustle. You've got a business, and I think I touched on that. So income comes in different forms, and we all wish we only received income and it ended there. But unfortunately, it doesn't end with the income. With money that comes in, money must go out, and those are our expenses. So as much as you get imali, you get paid for whatever services or time that you exchange to be able to get this type of money. There's something that you ought to pay. That's where, again, guys, we differ even with income, how much you get. And some people don't just get a salary. They make sure they have different streams of income. It's not just their employers that pays them. They also get income from dividends. They also get income from properties. And we know there's people who say to be able to be comfortable in this expensive life, at least have 8 streams of income, 4 streams, of 5 streams, depending. Guys, remember, finance matters are personal. So you ought to look into your personal situation, and we spoke about that, and decide. In fact, if anything, get a personal a financial advisor who will assist you with that if you can't DIY. How old you are, how much you earn, what are your expenses, do you have kids, where do you stay, all these things contribute, and obviously where you stay affects your expenses. So once you get this income in whichever form, unfortunately, then you've got expenses that are looking at you, and they are not laughing at you. You are expected to pay them. So when we talk about a budget, we talk about your income versus your expenditures. So you'll have a column where, or you use spreadsheets, and guys, please do have a budget. You ought to have a budget. And now times have upgraded, unlike during my time where I did it through a spreadsheet. And I think before spreadsheets, I would write it in the book, which I earn 2,000, transport money so much, you know bond so much, because I had a bond repayment from a very young age. I started working, I think I didn't have a bond for like 3 or 4 years, and after that I gotten into that wagon of buying my first property. And then you write food, and but now there's tools, there's apps that can assist you. So I urge you to download those apps and be realistic ukuthi how much do you earn, and then break down your expenses, and I just want to tell you how you break them down. Just want to confirm and not leave anything. So make sure, good, you've got fixed costs, which are part of your expenses, and those will be your car repayment, because they are fixed, they are the same every month. Your bond repayments, they are the same every month. But you need to jot it down. You need to see it. It needs to hit you. If right now you are just moving around without knowing how much you actually pay towards your house, how much you pay towards your car, you might get a shock to find that you're paying more for your car than your house, and it shouldn't be like that. Even your house, if 30% of your salary goes towards your, more than 30% towards your bond repayment, then you are in trouble. And I think the bank does cap it, Uguti. If you earn 100,000 per month, only 30,000 repayment should go towards your house. If you're now going for a house where the repayment will be 50,000, they will decline it, because how are you then going to pay for other things such as transportation, food, insurance? Because the list is endless. Kids, school fees if you've got kids, and entertainment, and the list. Your cell phone contracts, it is a lot. Your data. Hi ma, Ushumatha, I don't have debt, no accounts, etc. Always paid with my debit card or lay-bys. Oh wow, so refreshing, etc. However, I'm now considering a credit card because of travel packs that comes with the credit card. You know what, Sissy? That is clever if you're gonna travel often. You remember, I've said before, don't start a problem to satisfy a certain desire. I'll call it a problem because you don't want that in your life. To satisfy a certain desire if you'll only travel once in a while. I know someone who also did exactly what you did. They were debt free, no kids, professional, and they only applied for a credit card because they had said, for the next couple of years, I'll be traveling the world. And the credit card saved them, because a year they travel 4 times, which comes with a slow lounge and all that. And they pay their credit card before it accumulates interest monthly, before that 55 days. I don't know how they calculate it, and I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and end up paying it on day 55 and you still attract the interest. So approach your bank and find out exactly how your credit card works, because it could be a different. But if you'll be traveling maybe once a year, a trip abroad or trip to Cape Town, and you want a slow lounge, I don't have a credit card. I still go to my slow lounges and I pay cash. I treat them exactly how I'll treat a dress that I I've seen a Mandela Square. See a beautiful dress, it is stunning. If I have money, I buy it. If I didn't budget for it and I didn't go to Mandela Square for that dress, but I still love it, I'll start saving for it. And then few months, if it's still in fashion. In fact, I don't go with fashion gear. I mean, I'll buy something and wear it next season when everyone else's ones are kaput, or in 3 years' time. Then I'll buy it. So you can still treat them the same. If there's other perks, if you pay with your credit card when you travel, like you buy your air tickets, I buy my air tickets with my FNP debit card, and I'm still, my insurance comes for free. So make sure you're gonna open this credit card, and it will really, really benefit you. It won't put you into unnecessary debt if you can do it debt free. You are on the good start, you are doing well, you don't want to mess it up. We normally mess it up in our 20s, but when we get to our late 20s, we ought to sort out our own mess and do things differently. And if you never messed anything up, you've always been a good girl or good boy your whole life, hallelujah, blessed are those kids. So I wouldn't want to start it at a later stage of life. Is it advisable? So, sis, I hope I've answered you. If you still want to clarify, let me know. How does one grow the business when it's the only source of income? I find hard to invest back into business while I'm eating from it. Okay, Ntombi, I think when we talk businesses, which I doubt we will, now on this boot camp, maybe it will come after the boot camp, then I can share. But I've shared a lot on my Facebook page, although they've taken most of that information down. But if you need one-on-one, I've just had a session now with a business owner regarding certain not advice, recommendations and tips and all that on in her business. I've just finished my session. You are welcome to book a session, 250. Then we can drill down into your business specifically and see how you can expand. I'll give you tips that will shock you. I don't know where they come from. It could only be God and the experience from where I come from. So let's continue, guys. So you ought to draw up a budget. That's a starting point for any money savvy person or money matter topic. You cannot know where you're heading if you don't know where you're at. So do stay there. Or I was still saying, okay, in terms of your income, do separate your income as well. Salary, income from your properties, income from your royalties, so that you have a nice breakdown and you also get motivated. If the income from property is more than the income from your employer, which is your salary, you're like, oh wow, I'm on the right track. It's either you buy more properties, and if you buy to let, you can try and diversify and look for another type of property investment and so forth, but have it clearly broken down. So you'll have two sections, and I'm sure most of us have done a budget. Whether we stick on them, that's another story, where you separate your income from your expenses. And when it comes to expenses, I was still there to say separate them nicely. Have your fixed expenses, which are your cars, your credit cards, repayment. But those, I don't know why would they fall under fixed, because to me, if you're still spending on the credit card, those expenses might go up, so they might fall under variable expenses. But your car repayment, your bond repayments, will mortgage, if you want to call that, will definitely fall under that. Your security, medical aid, they don't chop and change. They are fixed expenses. So you'll have that section, because your medical aid changes annually, so they remain fixed for that duration. Your domestic wages, it's normally an annual, and then you only up it when you've had discussions. Same applies to school fees, and then have a variable costs or expenses, rather, where these are your day-to-day, such as your food, your petrol, because 1 month you're fasting like me now. No meat. It's only veggies, mostly veggies and fruits. So I'm cut. My grocery shopping has cut down big time. Even I've cut down because know what meat it does to us. Can think clearer, but that's a topic for another day. Clothing, and guys, please do not leave entertainment. You know, when I still work for the financial institution, when a person applied for a mortgage, a loan, those years times could have changed, and I know times have changed. Guys, please do like the video. I plead, I beg, before we continue, just like the video. And if you just joined, welcome to everyone. Welcome. Okay, thanks Ntombi. Welcome, darlings, and thanks for being here. When I was still dealing with okay, they didn't come directly to me. We had a division. Things have changed now with banking, where it was a home loan division. I think it's still the same, but we would accept applications. And I would tell you, if you apply for a bond and you skip entertainment, in most cases they used to reject the application. I won't say decline, but you'll just delay because they will insist in bond section or home loan section which weighs entertainment. So entertainment falls under variable costs because it changes. This month you want to go play tennis, next month you want to go and watch a Formula One. You know, you want to try out a like professional driving as a way of entertaining yourself. You want to eat out more, or you increasing your coffee. So the entertainment amount do not lie, and that's where most of people's income heads to go entertainment, because we grooving weekends, we restauranting weekends, and I'm not saying everyone. There's people who can entertain themselves at home, and then that amount is lower. So I'm saying make sure it forms part of your budget. Don't forget about it, because for most people it forms big parts. People are entertained. Even buying your data to be entertained by a comedian, by watching a certain live, that could be that. And then once you take your different forms of incomes and you've added them, you know, you sum them up, you take your different forms of expenses or costs and you sum them up. We all know Bob is your uncle. You minus, subtract your expenses from your income, and then what is left is called disposable income. And that income says what is left after you've paid everything. And guys, don't lie to yourself. So I'll urge you to go and do your budget if you've never done a budget, if you don't believe in any budget, because that will be an eye-opener. You'll be shocked at where most of your monies go to. And take your 3 months bank statement. These things of late, they are digital, and check. And as you draw up your budget, you separate, like we said, data, cell phone contracts, school fees, entertainment, petrol, but you're gonna have mortgage, insurances, you know, house insurance, security. Have it nicely, and you will be shocked at the total amount that you spend, e.g., on your security guard, e.g., on your data. And that will tell you maybe on your subscriptions. Some people have gym subscriptions, some people have Netflix subscriptions, and you find with those people don't even watch TV. Instead, they constantly hear Kubo, Facebook, YouTube. So why are you still keeping or reading books to upgrade themselves? Why are you still keeping such a subscription? And I'm referring to this particular book. I'll share the name just for a few things. And I'm one person, guys, I don't like to break down a topic following someone else's view. I like to talk from my personal experience and keep it home, as in relevant to you, where you can relate. So when I'm gonna go with someone's book word by word, I'll lose my own contribution. So I don't like to be persuaded. However, I needed to make sure and I'll still refer to some of the things, because I don't wanna miss out on anything. And once you've got that disposable income, that's where again you pay yourself first. I spoke about paying yourself first on my Facebook channel, where people got it wrong, thought paying yourself first is buying yourself a pair of shoes. No, that's when you invest a certain amount, you save a certain amount. That is paying yourself first. So once you've paid, because guys, you can't start by taking 5,000 and investing it and then you are short on your bond repayment. That will not be a rational thing to do, or a logical thing to do. So pay your debts according to your a budget, and then with your disposable income, what's left, make sure first things first, then you pay yourself first. You work hard, you push, you grind, you suffer, you sit on the traffic, you work from home with kids screaming behind you, because we know it's not fancy also, even if you are a WFH, working from home, a, a you know, a professional. There's other issues. While you are busy, hubby opens the door and fed conversation while you are in a meeting. So ought to pay yourself first. I by doing nails, but by investing a certain percentage from a disposable income. Are we clear? Do you guys follow? Or have I lost you? Have you lost me? You now searching for your mother. Where is mom? Where is mom? Because we thought we were following, but now we can't find our mother. Let me know if everything is clear. Guys, please do like. So I'm basically saying your budget will be your roadmap. It will tell you. And sadly, some people's budget ends up with the minus. Then guys, you need to do something drastically. Once you subtract your expenses from your income, and that disposable income is showing minus 200, minus 7,000, minus 50,000 for other people, because remember, it depends on how much you earn. It depends on your lifestyle. It depends on how many expenses you have. And if that disposable income doesn't even allow you to pay yourself first, you have nothing left, then you ought to say, oh my word, something has to give. Then you go back to your budgets under your expenses. Let's start there. We're gonna go to income and check what you can say goodbye to. If you've got this gym subscription and you've been paying for the past 5 years, but you never go to a gym, please kiss that gym goodbye. No use to tell, we like to brag and status, I belong to VA. I belong to VA. Sweats. That's my favorite, because boy oh boy, they put you into that thing. Sweat 1,000. Guys, please try it. Put it in your bucket list and come and tell me. But I can't be clothing and showing off because I have a gym membership at Sweat 1,000, and I'm not advertising them. They didn't sponsor this video. But I hardly go, and my disposable income is a minus, is zone zero, or it leaves me with 200 rands only. Then what? Look into that. Guys, you ought to also, while you're looking at your 3 months bank statement, to draft this budget. If you don't have it, if you have it, it's a refresher, it's a new year, go check it again. Maybe you drafted it before you even got this increase that you have now. Go relook at it. It doesn't hurt. There's applications that you can use. Even if you do it the spreadsheet way, you're still on the right track. Using your book, Oksalayo, make sure you put the right amount and you don't leave anything out under income or expenses. While you're doing that and you're looking at your bank statement, check how much you pay for your bank fees, because those also, they charge us hectically. Don't be fascinated by a black card, but what you tend to do with that card is minimal. You just withdraw money at a cashier when you go buy groceries, and I hope that's where you withdraw your monies, because it's far cheaper in terms of fees than when you do at the ATM, and it's not as dangerous or unsafe as you ATM. They've given us those extra perks and checks if your bank offers that. But most South African banks, the big four, now it's big five with Capitec, do offer those services. And if your bank fees are killing you and you say, I bank with private bank, I'm an Investec baby. But you've never used those services of being a private banker or banking with a professional account with Investec. And apparently it's the best, guys. I'm not promoting them again. If you're looking for a house, apparently they do alles. But if every month you pay them 1,200 rands, can you please take that 1,200 rands and direct it to your retirement pension fund rather, or your RA retirement annuity, or your shares or your property or something, paying off your car much quicker. So look at what is chowing your money, guys. Don't smile when it comes to your money. Be financial literate, be financial literate. And I just want to see what this person has written in but just the highlights under the budget. What you do with each one of your paychecks will determine whether you look back an old age of a life well lived. So basically she's saying or whether you struggle your entire life. So as you get paid, what do you do with your money? That is the budget that will tell you. And when you get older, are you gonna smile? Are you gonna retire comfortably? Because studies were done, and we know a relative small percentage of South Africans retire comfortably. The rest depend on government grants, pension rather, or baba ma black tax recipients, and you don't want that. Especially if you've worked, you've never been in a situation where for like 10 years you were unemployed. That's a different situation, because by the time you get a job, chances are you've got debts and responsibilities coming out of your ears. But if you were blessed to work for years and years, why not look after what you are earning? If you're blessed to have royalties, to inherit money, guys, come on, man, we can do better. Now I'm becoming like a real mother. So the quality, these are just amalona, what will I say, lessons or just tips and whatever that I'm looking at this woman. I don't know if you've read her book, Pumelele and Dumo, From Debt to Riches, but I'm just looking at the e-budget section and I'm reading what she's written. The quality of your life, not the whole book, but those highlights. The quality of your life, the quality of life we enjoy today is a result of the decisions we took many years ago. Most of y'all know, Guti, I resigned, I took a gap year. And guys, sorry, I'm going to use this example quite often. And if it irritates you, use over strong. Now you can use yours, guys. Sorry. I took a gap year to travel the world full time for over 6 months. So the life I enjoyed last year when I was on my gap year was as a result of my decisions I made while I was working, from when I was a teenager until the time I decided to resign, because there was no ways I could have just hit a break, stop going. It had to be planned by making sure every income, every salary that I get, I make sure ukuthi gulo disposable income, there's more money, much more, that I can then invest and be able to live this life. I often say to my kids, build your future. Work on your future. Mina, I am living the future that I built years ago when I was your age. I make it clear to them. If you're going to sleep on building your future while you are young, I've got the young one who's in her 20s, and I've got the elder daughter who's in her 30s. Get it, then that's your problem. So it means when you get to your late 40s, into your 50s, uzobu iskepsel, what future are you going to live? So the decisions that we make today will determine where we will be tomorrow. And not everyone should just hit a break and take a gap year. I've never advocated for that, but that was part of my dream. And I worked hard to get there. I had to cut out these entertainment. I had to make sure, in fact, I didn't cut out more. Instead, we spoke about you look into to come back to the topic, you look, and I'll tell you what I did mostly to get my dream to come true. Look into expenses, see what's chowing you the most. Bank fees, we spoke subscriptions. If it's entertainment, when you're constantly on a high, cut down. You'll still be okay even if you go out twice a month instead of 6 times a month. When we say cut down, we're not saying put a dead stop into certain things. Sometimes they advise and say the coffee that you drink every morning is costing you at the end of the year maybe 10,000, because coffee has gotten expensive, and there's people who cannot start their day without a cup of coffee, and they go to these coffee franchise places to buy the coffee, which I think I priced them the last time, and they were going for like 60 rands, 40 rand, 50 rands. They're quite a bit. And I can tell you, in Guatemala, I bought a barista a cup of chai with 140 rands equivalent. 140 rands. So it is chowing on your income. It is chowing on your future plans. Whatever plans you have, we all have different plans. So instead, how about rather invest in a coffee machine? If you believe in a good coffee, you're not an instant coffee person. But if your dream is even bigger, your taste buds can move to those fancy taste buds of, oh, I want real coffee beans. You can downgrade them a bit and go for instant coffee until you realize your dreams, and then go for that coffee. But what I'm saying, Gucci, if you can't cut down that coffee every morning, because that's the time when you catch up maybe with your staff members, or the coffee makes you to become creative in your business, at work, at varsity, at the college, then maybe buy the coffee machine. Maybe go to abo Lord, ndiyabazi ngisho laba bamagama amanye, until you are stable. There's lots, guys, that you can tweak. Just take your 3 months bank statements. If you wanna go big or go home, take 6 months and just go through it. Take your highlighter, use these apps, the budget, see exactly, and have each and every item that is on your bank statement where your monies are going. Some of y'all have 3 phones, but you're not content creators. For the who, for the what? If you're a content creator, maybe I can forgive you. You get paid for creating content, therefore you need a backup phone. Even 3 is pushing us. You understand what I mean? If you've got 3 phones because maybe you bought for your daughter who's in varsity or high school, that is understandable. But if it's iPhones, and your daughter could do with just a smartphone, doesn't have to be top of the range, then you ought to cut down, guys. Next time, don't upgrade when they give you that offer. And if your expenditure is just your credit, your revolving credits, like your credit facility overdraft, and your overdraft, when you look at the total amount owing, is sitting at 80,000, guys, you are trapped. But the income is far less, and your disposable is minus whatever. Go sit with your relationship manager of that bank and ask them how you can pay off that overdraft, because you are drowning. you are drowning. So be honest, be realistic, and be transparent, and don't leave anything out. Because guys, to get to where you want to be, maybe your financial situation is not where you want it to be honest to where I'm at gula, but I'm heading there and I shall get there. But how do I get there? By cutting out A, B, C, D. So I think Pumbelela, are you spending most of your money on people, on what people can see? That's another problem that we have. We want to be seen with brands. If you like brands, that is different. But you can go Uber thrifters and get it at, you used or pre-loved. You can still be a brand person. But guys, if financially it doesn't allow you to be a brand person, a brand crazy person, brand loyal person, and you wanna be seen flashy and all that, I don't know how you can do that to yourself. Live a lie. Ay, 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 guys. Hey, I hate lying. It's worse so if I'm gonna lie to myself. It's the worst thing. I hate lying to someone. It is worse when I have to lie to myself. So don't live a lie. So look at your wardrobe. Is your wardrobe killing you or ruining your future? Are you really drowning because of your wardrobe? Look at eating out. Are these fancy restaurants not serving you, but you like posting unnecessary pictures? Do those pictures generate you money? If you go to fancy restaurants and you take pictures and you go on the websites where you can sell pictures, because there are websites like that, then you get paid. That is different. You are working on your income section of things. But guys, don't do things just to show people who just don't care about us. When you are drowning in debt, those people are not around to say, oh, but she used to carry, they will say it negatively. She used to carry those Louis Vuitton bags. Ha ha ha. God, she doesn't even have money. So do it when you really can. Eating, are you eating yourself to financial ruin? That's what Pumelele is asking. Udla kuze kweqe. You go to fancy restaurant. If you love restaurants just like I do, and that's where most of my money goes, sadly, guys. But wait for restaurant week, where you can restaurant hop at a reasonable price, and they advertise them when South Africa has restaurant week, and I know it's normally twice a year. Take advantage of those where you can go for your 6 course meals. You can pay your meals with a bottle of wine, but at a much reasonable cost. And if you love restaurants, maybe instead of going to a restaurant every weekend, go once a month, and really cut back. And if you are a person with credit cards and you buy food on credit cards, you have forgotten what you ate, but you're still paying 7 months later. You've been to the loo and taken the food out of your system, then you've got a big problem. Look into that, cut that card. It is not serving you. Instead, it is killing you. If your car, we spoke, is worth than your house, guys, unless that car is it is a siaya. Do we call them siaya in South Africa? It's a kumbi that brings you income. Why is it more than your house? If it's a car that is for business and it brings you income, then that is debatable. Also, use your mind. We're not saying everything is wrong, but when you sit and you question yourself, let it make sense. Let it make financial sense. Don't destroy you. Don't drown yourself. Don't dig a deeper hole, yet debt, when you are already in debt. If you've got loans that are from here to Makapan start and you can't even remember why you took loans, some take loans for friends and family and people that don't even check on them. I want that Sugasedes and trying to buy love. You can't buy love, guys. Try and negotiate with the bank. Pay extra into those loans. We'll talk about that next time, and I'll give you tips and how I handled my credit card saga. And fortunately, that's the only problem that I had. And guys, can I just there's people that needs to be put on timeouts because they are really nagging on the comment section and it's annoying. Guys, please just come in and and enjoy a topic. You know, the caption is there and I've already introduced, and if you've come late, you ought to replay. Uguchi, we've got finance boot camps and today we're talking about budgeting. And if you are lost, you ought to replay. And if there's a question, just ask once, guys. And people who want a shout out, just wait there. I will look at the comments and I will welcome Jengabo Eric Uguchi. Welcome to my corporate journey. We are discussing this is our second session of a finance boot camp where we're talking matters of the money. So the topic today is about budgeting. You possibly can't know where you're heading to if you don't know where you're at and how to look into your budget. Budget is a topic that most people run away from. And guys, if you don't have a budget, and don't just draw it and say, I've got a budget and leave it at there, you need to stick to it. And if anything, even write down if it's really really bad. Every time you take out even cash or you buy something, have a book where you keep Ilona, you know, tabs of what exactly is taking your money. And at the end of the month, at the end of the week, however you wanna look at it, you can sit down and say, oh my word, most of my money goes towards a fuel, you know, and what's causing you to be spending so much money on fuel. If you're far from work, maybe it could be time. If you are renting, you find a place closer to work. And if you fuel is killing you because you do the drop offs of your kids, maybe it's time if you're comfortable, get one transport that drops them at school, you know, or find ways of cutting it down. There's people who sold their cars and they say they use Uber and it works out cheaper than having a car. Guys, I cannot sit here and say try that, but I've seen it, I've read it. Look into those options. But if it doesn't serve you, you've got errands to run or pickups or after school or pickups of kids at 6 o'clock in the afternoon. You've got church practice, choir practice. You can't be Ubering all over. It's people like us who goes to work and come back. Then weekends, sit down and consider that when you realize what is eating you and how you planning to cut down. Don't chop the whole hand. How are you gonna function? Just maybe chop a little bit of a nail, you know? And if the nail is not working, chop a finger and be left with 9 fingers. That's what we're trying to say. And I spoke about cutting down on expenses by really being disciplined and seeing what is still serving you and what's not serving you, you let go. And sometimes if how can I put it? Let's say, okay, I don't want to touch the donation part because it's so sensitive, but let me make an example. Maybe under your expenses, you donate. You donate for to cause Yama dogs. You donate to causes that speaks to environment, keeping it green. You also donate to maybe vulnerable mothers. Try and cut back by at that point in time when you're really, really struggling, maybe leaving two charity organizations. When you've picked up and your budget is looking good, then you can cut down the amounts that you are donating, which is sad. I wouldn't want to say this at all, but guys, you get what I'm saying. And this applies to your black tax as well, and add it to your budget if you are taking care. I hate using the word black tax, but that's the word that is used of late, and a lot of people understand it. And if you are a person that pays a black tax to your family members or to a neighbor's child, just, and it's at the moment your disposable income is sitting at minus. I'm not saying stop. You cannot neglect. We are Africans. Ubuntu. We lift as we rise. You've already graduated. Your younger cousin lost his parents. You also want to see them one day graduate. And another take for me, guys, on this black text thing is, yes, it's painful when you pay it, if maybe it doesn't come from the heart, let me say that, and there's people who feel the heaviness of it. However, it will help you in the future, because imagine you don't pay it and this child doesn't get to go to school. They're gonna be your responsibility forever. So rather choose to just put it in your budget, and you know it's for the next 6 years, 7 years, and after that they standing, the person that you pay the black tax towards is standing on their own. And that's how it's supposed to be. Or even come with strategies. So you're gonna start something for them that will generate the income, but that's not where we are at. So yes, your budget will have your rental, repayments, if you're renting, bond, if you bought, insurance premiums, furniture. There's still people who buy furniture on credit. We are all different. Child maintenance, if you take kids to crèche or school fees, and then those are fixed income. Then you'll have electricity and water, groceries. There's even rates and taxes, telephone costs or cell phone costs, clothing stores. Some people are in debt because of clothing stores, or clothing accounts rather, credit cards, transports, living expenses. There is your people smoke, they have habits, alcohol, lunch, and all that, and you all, they are all personalized. You all have different ones, and in this case they've got irregular expenses such as your home repayments, you know, those unexpected expenses. You can also include them. I think in terms of budget, we are all on the same page and we are all clear. Angazi mina ukuthi ukhuluma ngani. Shem, sorry Thandiswa, you'll see the live and you'll get it. For 86K second. Oh, it's when I blocked this person. So if you really, and guys, that's a thing that I want to encourage you to do. If you don't watch or you don't follow a channel, for whatever reason, religiously, you left behind, but it's a YouTuber that you really enjoy, and this doesn't only apply to me, make time to just go and get the updates on the person's channel, because it's like walking in a classroom or a lecture room and telling a lecturer ukuthi, what is the topic, where else you have a schedule that tells you what we'll be talking about today, property development, for instance. So what I'm trying to say, good, I sat here and guys, I know we get new people. That is different. I just think it's disrespectful when you do that. With respect, you will just sit and see if you catch on, because I cannot go back to a topic every time someone just joins the live. If you know you came in late and you cannot catch up, surely someone has caught up with you talking about the budget. I did introduce the fact that we're going to have a finance boot camp for the next 6 weeks. I wish it was 6 months. And this is, it says finance boot camp. So we're talking matters of finances, session 2. And we're talking budget. When I talk about your income and expenses, that should already tell you ukuthi sekhulunywa nge-journal la, sekhulunywa ngeimali, you know, assets and liabilities, which we'll speak about it. I think it's just irrespect to wait. Maybe when the live ends, you can just catch on and listen to it and see Gucci, what did I miss, where are we at. So I mean, you know, respect, it goes both ways. I don't think I'll walk into a person's house and say, what's going on here, in such a manner. I hope we are all following. But before we even look at other parts of your finances, just make sure you've got a budget in place. And I want to also speak to people who don't earn uh, money on a regular basis, like salaries, your dividends, your royalties. People who don't earn on a monthly basis, their jobs are seasonal or they are freelancers. Sometimes you get a job and you get a huge lump sum, and then there's a dry period before you get another income. I want to say to you, please make sure you also have a budget. You also have a budget, and your budget will be a bit different from, and I want to speak about income before I forget, guys. Okay, maybe before we move to people who don't get a salary, because that's, maybe, I don't want to say minority, but it's not a lot of people, and I'm not sure if we've got any on this channel. And let me say, we've spoken about cutting down on your expenses, what to look out for. I've given you a few examples. If someone has other tips, please drop them on the comment section. Guti, how can people cut back on their expenses so that they have more than enough disposable income to be able to invest it and realize their dreams? Because the whole aim, guys, is to work, obviously pay your debts, which I hope they are not a lot, it's just few, and they are healthy debts. They say there's a good debt and a bad debt. They are good debts. And what is left, you want to invest it for your future, because the disposable income is exactly the amount that will help you build a generational wealth and build a legacy and realize your dreams. Remember, it's not just about your kids and your great grandchildren and leaving a legacy. You also need to live your life to the fullest before you kick the bucket, because the clock is ticking, guys. We're not here for a long time. So please make sure uyayiphila impilo yakho. Live however way is your definition of living. But how can you live if every month, before your next pay comes in, when now you've donored that money already, you've spent it? There's people who are on deficit of 3 months salary, so spending the whole first day, second day, you going, bus, please. Or my employer, I don't want to use the word bus. People might be sensitive and say, you're taking us back to apartheid times. And my employer, please loan me, please. There's people who are really chowing the June's money in February. June's salary, they're already spending it in Feb. So this session is to say, let's cut back. Let's make sure our income is far much more than our expenses. And you can only do that by living way beyond your means. If you get an extra income, you get an extra amount, a bonus, don't go and spend it unnecessary. Don't take it and put it under that section here, expenses. Make sure you use that money to generate more money in the future. And we'll be talking about how you do that. And then drop on the comment section if you've got other ways to cut back and decrease the expenses, more especially how you decreased yours when your disposable income was sitting at a minus, it was less than. So in fact, you were working for nothing. After you've paid ama debts, you had nothing left. How did you get to a position where at least now you've got an extra 4,000 left after paying everyone? And I want to go again on the section of the income. Guys, we can cut back all we want. Please don't forget to like. In fact, I will encourage you to cancel gym membership, but you can cut so much. Guys, you cannot cut AMA school fees. Unless your child is in a private school, then you downgrade them to a public school. But if a child is in a public school, what downgrade do you do? Or a child is what do they call it? Homeschooling. Maybe you can take them to public school when you are cutting back for that period. But there's just things that you cannot cut back. There's just things. Electricity goes up around July in South Africa for a certain a percentage. Doesn't matter how frugal you are. There's no ways you'll pay less than what is expected of you, because that is regulated, that is across the board. So what do? You sit in the dark and only buy electricity at the beginning of the month. That's not gonna work. So there's always a limit to cutting back. There's always a limit to canceling a subscription wabo Netflix nani. But you can't take a child out of a crash unless it is really, really bad. But you ought to make sure that wherever you're gonna put them or whoever is gonna look for a child, maybe you pay them far much more less, because and you're still stimulating them and the kid is still learning. What will then help you if your disposable income is sitting on zero or minus or only 1,000? You can't even invest, you can't even save. Is that increase your income. So when on that section of income, if your income is only salary, if your income is only revenue from selling magwinya, if your income is only royalties from the book that you wrote, you need to start looking for other income streams of income. So when now you need to be scouting opportunities, you need to be wakened, you need to be creative. What else can I do to increase the income yam? Because now my income at the moment is 7,000, but my expenses are sitting at 9,000. So I'm always with deficit of 2,000 rands every month. Ngishota nge 2,000 every month. I'm asking friends. Then you need to start and to find an income that will supplement low 2,000 and give you extra to be able to survive after you've cut. Because guys, you can cut up until this much. If traveling to your work in terms of petrol is 1,000, how do you cut 1,000? I'm not talking people who go and say hi Chomi on weekends, driving around like they don't know, or their houses are pinching them. That is different, because you can cut those Chomi, I love you Chomi, and maybe WhatsApp Chomi and still tell Chomi you love them via WhatsApp. That is different. But if your expenses are due to izinto, the needs, not wants, and you can no longer cut back, look into introducing a new income stream. And guys, there are tons of opportunities for that. But be realistic. Will you still be able to perform it in your business at an optimal level? Will you still be able to be productive at work? Don't let that extra income, stream of income that you're gonna create or start out drain you. Because remember, we only have so many hours in a day, and then also time is another thing that you cannot stretch and expand. But you have, even if you sleep for 7 hours, or instead of sleeping for 12 hours at the moment, you have to look into increasing your income. If your budget, if the scale is like this, it's chegile, that that income statement is not make sure, you need to do something. Maybe using lift clubs to work instead of driving alone reduces cost. Thank you, and Tombi, thank you, Mduma. It does big time. It does. Sissy. So look into that. Club in what do they call it? Yeah, lift clubs. There's another word for it. And I always look for these fancy words. Sometimes they are carpooling. Yeah, carpooling, they call it that. Look into that, where you carpool with people around your area and you work in the same company. It will be far much less, because petrol, I was shocked to see Guti, we are heading to 30 rands a liter of petrol. But there are many ways. But if anything, look into increasing another stream of income. You won't go wrong. And let's talk about people who are freelancing and get a big lump sum. You ought to budget. And EACO is going to be different because you ought to budget even for times when you're not getting a salary, you're not getting an income, you're not getting that revenue, whatever form of income, because they all different you are getting. Because if you're gonna see this 150,000 comes into your account, but you know very well you get a next gig or an acting role in 6 months from now, you need to spread out that 150K to cover 4 times when there isn't any income coming through. Because how are you going to pay for your expenses unless you don't owe nobody? And chances are, guys, even if you say I've got one debt, maybe a cell phone contract, but chances are people have debts, and studies have been done which most people have debts. Yes, there's few people who are debt free njengabomata, but South African population, I'm not talking on behalf of the world, there were studies which shows Gucci people have debts that are others coming out of their ears. So if you have a debt and you are a freelancer, you get a piece job, seasonal jobs once in a blue moon, but when you get paid well, which in that case I think it will also work more on someone who's a entrepreneur, and they get gigs from the government and contracts and projects from government. Government pays you way later, maybe it's 3 months. In, I'm not saying in all sectors, but or divisions, but what I've heard, would you do the work today and you're gonna dance for your check most probably only in June. Budget well ukuthi while you're waiting for the payment, how are you paying for your school fees for your kids? How are you buying your food? Even if you don't have kids, how are you going to buy your food? How are you going to pay for your rent or for your bond, your car if you've got a car? All those things, your insurances, which is a list long like this, from your household insurance, your medical insurance, to your security insurance. Guys, life covers, we're talking funeral covers, insurance for your overdrafts, because even these credit cards, you find Gucci, you're paying for in case you kick the bucket and you're owing a bank 60,000. You're paying for that insurance. They call it insurance or revolving credit, whatever the name is. I wouldn't know, because honestly, guys, after I've had my unfair share, I never look back, and I don't believe in debt. I believe in, and it helps me because luckily I'm not a person of instant gratification of wanting things now. So I budget for a lot of things that I have, no matter how big they are. The only thing that I've bought on credit was my car when I was still young, and I made sure I paid it off, I think, in year 3, and my house that year. I wish I had millions to buy a house cash. Other than that, things like food, like going to about W and push a big trolley and pay on credit, I don't believe in that. Clothing, I don't believe in that. I'll rather wear a black dress and have a black skirt and just change the tops until I'm comfortable, instead of having these clothing accounts. But we are all different. Other people have clothing accounts because of kids, but if they really causing you to get stuck, then it's a problem. So I hope you'll take time, darlings, and go look into your budget. And if you haven't liked, please do like as I'm wrapping up. And thank you so much for being here. And look who your devil is. What's your poison? What's stealing your money? And cut back on it, so that when we come back and talk about paying yourself first in detail, that is saving and investing, you now say, okay, I did spend my Saturday afternoon or my Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon and looked at my budget, and I know who this devil is, and hold this devil with its horn and fight the devil, and then come back with a disposable income. Because how are you then gonna save or invest if you have nothing. But before we even talk about saving and investing, I think the next topic should be indaba debt management, from debt to riches. If you wanted, and it was South African bestseller at the time, From Debt to Riches. It's the book that our steps to financial success. If you need to read up, I read it years ago, guys. I bought it at CNA 130. You can no longer even see. I wish there was, it showed which year. Oh, beautiful woman. Now Pumelel. Straightforward book, easy to follow. And what I like about these books, where you can then add your information and make it your own, like here, if for example you have DSTV, but no unit trust fund for your children's university education, do you have your priorities right? What do you need to give up to ensure that you use your money for important things? You see how basic and straightforward is this book is. And guys, you have to invest in education, in knowledge. If you are those people who say, oh, I cannot pay for a mentor session, I cannot buy a book and bring myself up to speed. You saw I just took only the few nuggets that are relating to budgeting. I didn't read up everything. But if you really want to better your situation, guys, you need to invest on yourself. If you can invest on red bottoms and wigs, and I'm gonna say this, take time to say, I love myself. I wanna change my current situation. Can I get myself a book? Can I buy an ebook if you don't believe in this old-fashioned way of reading books? Till now, we are still reading books like this. If it doesn't like this, I don't feel it. If it's digital, I'm a schwaza. I'm old school like that. But do pay someone. Do pay a financial advisor when you get stuck and you are working. You've been working for the past 7, 10 years, but your money in, money out. Then seek help and pay someone to show you the way. Lento ye mentality ukuthi I won't pay for knowledge. Hey guys, you are on your own. If then you go lozaring, go to YouTube and search the whole day, looking for everyone with their own different opinions and getting more confused. But maybe you might just find people like Abo Pumelele sharing their knowledge there, and you can learn from it. So guys, thank you for your time. Thank you for sitting here. Hey guys, greetings to everyone who joined the live, guys. I think I must just come live and just say, okay, shout outs. Today is about shout outs, but Saturdays, guys, Saturday afternoon are dedicated for finance bootcamp. Nothing else. I'll come one day during the week and say, Oliver, or Olivia, shout outs. And because people do like greetings and they feel offended, go say, oh, but why don't you interact with your community? Oh, God. Dog Day. Hi, Dog Day. Do you own dogs? Why that name? Mandwa Mutaung, do you also have a book? No, Sissy, not yet. And even if I'm busy, okay, I haven't started, but I want to write a book, but it will be about my gap here, babe. So it will be more about travels. And you're giving me an idea. Maybe next year I can look into including my personal life in terms of finance and share my experiences, and I've got stories for days. I'm sure Mantwa, you'll be only the first person ya reka buka yaka and you'll read it the whole night. I'm late, Tembeli. Sorry, Sisi, ngizoqala and thank you, Sisi. Truly appreciate, and thanks for your support. Thank you for sharing your knowledge with us. Pleasure, Ntombi, and use it, Sisi. And if you are okay financially, just let this be a refresher, because some people will say, I don't have any financial hurdles at the moment, all is well, you know, my income, expenditure and expenditure is looking good, my balance sheet is smiling at me. Hallelujah, if you are on that, in that position. But for those who really wants to change things around, come every Saturday afternoon. Let's see what we can share. Let's exchange notes. Like my child there who spoke about, you can cut back by carpooling or lift clubs. We need to share such information, because yeah, there's so much information out there, but sometimes we don't have time to even reach it. Upexton, say my name. So I'll come, chesification. Yo, kwasuka lokho. I'll come back, guys, and just do my shout outs. Imagine a live where I'll just sit and say people's names. Say my name, just to certify. Kwashabantu. Sorry, guys. Just to make everyone happy. But other than that, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for liking. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for hitting a subscriber button. If you haven't, please do. Don't forget the notification bell, but only subscribe if the information resonates with you. Guys, I'll say that until I'm gray on my face. You know, there's nothing worse than seeing someone with so many subscribers, and I've seen people, but the views are like so bad, guys. It shows good people subscribed and packed their bags and left. Don't do that to me. If I'm not talking the language that you are expecting, don't subscribe and leave. No, just sit and listen, and it's fine. I'd rather have less subscribers that matches the viewership, and that's my take. And I hope I don't offend anyone. And those who've subscribed and are continuously supporting my channel, guys, may the Almighty God just do you right, and really takes you from point A to point Z. You don't even go via point E, F, G. You just move from point A to point Z, because you know what? You deserve nothing but the best, because you do support others. And guys, when we do good unto others, the best comes our way without even us sweating and screaming when we pray. And thanks for being here, and see you, I don't want to say next week. For those who are interested in Finance Bootcamp, Saturday, same time, same place, after lunch, guys. It might not be same time, but those who also love my travel content, I'll see you. Just rock up during the course of the week, or you'll see a video coming through sharing life all about travels. I still have so much to share, so stay tuned, and thanks for being here, and stay blessed. Bye. Do budget, guys. Work on your budget. Use what we've shared, apply it, and see what you can cut back, and see what other forms of income you can introduce into your life. You will thank me later. Join me next week when we talk about debt. Another sensitive topic, debt. All things debt. And if you have debt, even if it's one scalt, which is one debt, if there is such a thing, join me. Let's break it down and see what we can do. Keep well. Bye, guys.